Hello and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras, here with ILTV's morning briefing. A small fire broke out outside an Israeli kibbutz near the Gaza border yesterday after Palestinians from Gaza flew a firebomb over the border with a kite. This is actually the third such incident in the last week. Though the bombs typically cause no damage or injuries, their mere presence suggests that Hamas hasn't backed down an inch from its threat to overrun the security barrier and destroy the Jewish state. Israel has seen thousands of Palestinians flocking to the Gaza border for the last 3 weekends for the Hamas-sponsored March of Return protest. Despite claims that this is merely a peaceful sit-in, however, Israel largely sees these violent and bloody rallies as a smokescreen for Hamas terror. Tens of thousands of Palestinians have thrown Molotov cocktails, stones, and brandished weapons in an attempt to either destroy or overrun the border into Israel. That's why the army has responded with live fire as it deems necessary, an act that has been largely criticized in international forums. At this time, over 30 Palestinians have been killed in these clashes by Israeli bullets, including one Palestinian journalist and many confirmed Hamas militants. Ahead of this week's Memorial Day and Independence Day activities, which begin tomorrow at sundown here in Israel, the army will be shuttering all Palestinian checkpoints in both Gaza and the West Bank. The restriction of movement is a necessary security measure according to the Israeli security. Cases involving humanitarian aid or medical urgency will still be granted approval for passage. Tel Aviv Magistrate Judge Ronit Poznansky-Katz, who was presiding over hearings in Case 4000, aka the Bezek corruption probes, has now been removed from the case and found guilty of unbecoming behavior in a disciplinary hearing. Poznansky-Katz was found to be having inappropriate WhatsApp correspondence with the Israel Securities Authority lawyer regarding suspects in Case 4000. In the conversation in question, Security Authority lawyer Eran Shacham-Shavit told Judge Poznansky-Katz that he intended to request the release of specific suspects in the case and the continued detention of the others, following up with, "Try to act surprised." The judge supposedly agreed to the request in saying, quote, "I'm practicing my surprised face," end quote. Though the full conversation, which was later released, doesn't seem to indicate any corruption or obstruction of the case itself, Poznansky-Katz was still removed and put on immediate indefinite leave, at least until the probe against her behavior is finished. The judge admitted to the inappropriate conversations and her punishment from the courts will be determined at a later date. The lawyer, Eran Shacham-Shavit, was also removed from the case and placed on leave pending an investigation. As for Case 4000, a new judge has been appointed and it's continuing as normal. Fresh riots of ultra-Orthodox Jews have just erupted in the streets of Jerusalem. Though we've seen protests like this in the past, this new rally has taken an unusually violent turn. 4 police officers have been injured after being forced to use extreme measures like stun grenades and water cannons to break up the crowds. Typically, the ultra-Orthodox conduct these rallies to demonstrate against the arrest of Haredim who refused the draft into the IDF. In this case, however, an arrest has not actually even been confirmed. The violence erupted based only on the rumors of such an arrest. Haredi media reports that an ultra-Orthodox woman from the Har Chof community was allegedly arrested for draft dodging. Photos of the young woman believed to have been arrested have emerged on Facebook, however, and they don't really depict a woman who seemingly follows ultra-Orthodox lifestyle. Unfortunately, regardless of where she came from, it wouldn't be unheard of for a riot like this to have broken out over a rumor that turned out to be wrong. The Arab League began their summit in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this weekend, and the Saudi kingdom is taking its turn in rotation to host from Jordan and has named this meeting the Quds or Jerusalem Summit, a dig at United States President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, which the Arab League condemns. In fact, to support the Palestinians was a major cause in the first day of the summit, with Saudi Arabia pledging $200 million in aid, 50 of which will go to UNRWA. Saudi Prince Salman called on the 21 other attending member countries to donate what they could as well. But the major concern thus far expressed at the 28th Arab League summit isn't Israel or the Palestinians, but Iran. According to Saudi Foreign Minister Adel al-Jubeir, quote, "The summit condemned Iranian interference in the internal affairs of Arab countries, either by igniting sectarian strife or planting militias in Arab countries and harboring al-Qaeda terrorists. The summit called on Iran to withdraw from all Arab states," end quote. Agreements at the summit also included condemning the Iranian nuclear and ballistic weapons program, saying inspections should be more comprehensive and stringent, and demanding an independent probe into the use of chemical weapons in Syria. Ethiopian Jewish teen Sintayehu Shafrau has now reportedly been granted residency status in Israel, allowing him to remain in the country with some of his siblings whom are already here. Shafrau, who comes from Gondar, Ethiopia, came to Israel a short time ago as a finalist in the International Bible Quiz, which is to be held as part of Independence Day celebrations. The 18-year-old Shafrau is a member of the Falashmura community, a population of Ethiopians who claim links to descendants of Jews. They actively practice Judaism and are recognized by Israel's right of return. In fact, there is a standing order to bring the remaining 9,000 Falashmura to Israel by the end of 2020. 135,000 Ethiopian Jews already live in Israel today. Despite this, Shafrau was originally ordered to put a deposit down upon entering the country for the competition, ensuring he would return to Gondar at the competition's end. This is a policy that the Interior Ministry reportedly regularly demands from Ethiopians entering Israel who already have family here. But when activists heard of this treatment, they took Shafrau to the Knesset to meet with top lawmakers, including Justice Minister Ayelet Shaked. Well, the results of the pressures seem to have worked, as Interior Minister RIYADH granted the teen permanent residency. That being said, it isn't full citizenship just yet, meaning Shafrau will not have an Israeli passport or the right to vote in elections.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.